Hello, everybody of the internet. I'm Court and I'm back. I've been off for a little while, just busy with life, but now I'm back, and this time I'm going to have some time with EVE Online. I'm sure many people have heard of it. It's an MMORPG, and I had a go at this probably 3 years ago, a couple of years ago, as it were, and I didn't really get into it at the time. And I left after about a month's worth of trial, I think it was, and I've come back to it a month ago again, but this time I am getting into it. And you can see on screen here, I've got a couple of characters. One is really the one I'm playing with. The other one I sort of started but haven't done anything with. And I thought I'd take some time to go through with you what I've learnt so far. So for those that aren't familiar with EVE Online, let's make a start off here as if it was a new character. EVE Online is, as I mentioned, an MMORPG, and it's a space sim, I suppose, and you will spend your time doing probably a lot of PvP eventually. It's very PvP heavy, but you'll be doing a lot of PvE to start off with. Now, when you start the game, first of all you get to choose four different races. So you have here on the left Galente, Kaldari, Minmatar, and Amar. And each of these favour slightly different techs and, I suppose, attributes on your ships, etc., etc. So I suppose it doesn't really matter who you are. So this time I'm going to pick Amar. There's a little bit of backstory to these, and when you first start the game you'll get a sort of backstory video. I'm bypassing this for the moment. So I'm just going to pick a race, Amar. And the next one, next screen, it takes you through to your, I suppose, your avatars, your what you're going to look like. So here we are. So I've got 3 to choose from. Now, as far as I'm aware, it makes no difference whatsoever what race and sex you choose. It's purely for aesthetics. So whatever you choose is immaterial, to be really honest. It depends how you want to look in game. So I'm just going to choose this one. I have to say, although this doesn't actually pay any real relevance to the game itself, there is quite a fair choice of variety in the customization you have here. Hairstyles, eye color, shape, body, all sorts. I'm sure there's a randomize. There we go, complete randomize. Huh? Randomize complexion. Can I randomize everything? There we go, on the left hand side there. Let's see what happens. Oh, very different. Yep. What are we going to have here? Right, let's just pick one. I want one with hair. Not him. A bit too scruffy. He reminds me of the Master from Doctor Who. That's going back a long time. Right. Next. So now we can choose a portrait. So, and then you can take a photo. So, have that one. Again, you can customize several things. Background, poses. Whatever takes your fancy. I like that, like doing a Mr. Spock thing. Look a busy eyebrow. Like that. Can I make it any higher? No. Okay, that'll have to do. Okay, so you choose. Next. Right, you get to choose your ancestry. Again, I'm not really sure what this actually really does for you. I'm sure somebody out there will tell me it does make a difference, but not that I'm aware of it. Right, randomize. Okay, I always pick my first name as Court, and I'll pick a name. Check availability. All good. Right, and finalize. Yep, that's how I'm going to be. And in we go. There we go, we're in. That's an interesting spaceship. It's my shuttle. Hello, I am Aura, your capsule's AI assistant. I'm going to show you some of the opportunities New Eden has to offer. So this must be me in my capsule. So you start off in the game in what's called a capsule. Some people call it an egg, and it is literally a place where your body resides, and it tends to be quite small, and that's effectively you. Now you have this AI here on the left. It will take you through some, I suppose, tutorial missions to start off with, to get you going and understanding what the game is all about. On the left here you'll see what they call the neocom, which is sort of all the menus. You can customize this, as you see, fit, add new icons, remove icons, change the shape, size, where it appears, etc, etc. On the right here you have something called the overview, which basically is effectively, if you think of everything that's in your radar, and this is highly customizable. These things are red, which are bad, so I probably want to get out of here. Try rotating your camera. Yep, okay. Left clicking on the mouse. Yeah, I've done that. I just really want to get out of here. Right, look at an object. The camera viewpoint is normally centered on your ship, but can change. Okay, I'm just going to pick something. Okay, so we can look at other things here. A belter hoodlum. It's not a great name, is it? It's not the type of name of someone you'd bring to a baby shower. Right, look at your ship. Okay, let's do that. There we go. Moving the camera. What do I have to do? Hold left mouse button and move camera. Well, I did that. Okay. I really want to get out of here. Anyway, some other points about the game that you should probably be aware of. Although this is an MMORPG, it's not the type that would involve what we're looking for, a joystick. A joystick is very much a keyboard and mouse game. So if you're worried that you don't have a joystick or anything that's help you fly, otherwise you don't need it. It's just keyboard and mouse, and it does very much play like a more sort of a strategy. There's certainly action to it, but it's not with a joystick. Right, okay, as a capsuleer you are you and your ship learning to fly is essential. Yes, okay, what are we doing? You can manually control the direction of your ship by double-clicking anywhere in space. Give it a try. There we go, double-click. There we go, done. You can see down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, these are notifications of things that have happened. Off I go. Right, approach an object. Right, let's approach a base. This is an icon for some sort of base of some sort, so I'm going to right-click on that. Okay. Approach an object. Right, well, if I select it, line 2 allows me to face it. Where are you going? Okay. Right. While I'm doing this, probably a couple of other things I should point out, things I've learned. So as far as resources in game, I would say there's two types of resources. The most obvious one is the currency, which in EVE Online is known as ISK. And most people seem to have millions or billions or even trillions of ISK. In fact, if you've only got a few hundred ISK, that's like pennies, literally pennies. So things aren't worth much, even if they're worth a couple of million. So you're talking billions is proper currency in this game. The other one is something called skill points. Now, skill points are sort of things that grow over time. So these are my skill points here, or things that I have in my book, things I'm aware of. Here's my skill points here. And different skill points enable you to do different things. Sometimes they enable you to do things. Sometimes they enable you to do things better. Sometimes they enable you to have different ships, excel at different types of professions. There's all sorts of different things like that you can do. So, for example, just looking at my notes here. So, career-wise or playstyle-wise, it's completely up to you, and you can always change. Just need to invest the time to learn new skills. And as you learn new skills, these use up skill points, and you can spend these forever and ever. And as I understand it, if you were to keep learning everything day in day out, it would take you over 10 years to get even close to learning everything. Probably even longer. Right. Okay. So as it happens, the longer you play the game, the better you get at everything as a whole. Now, I should probably be making my way. So most objects in space have icons. Yep, these appear in the display in the space, or in the overview on the right-hand side. There you go, the overview. Find an object and approach it by holding the mouse button. And okay, so if I go... something I can go that's a bit nearer. Line 2. Just trying to find something to click on. As long as I'm away those pirates. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this character behind, and I'm going to load up one I've already got. Okay, right, logged off that character. So what I'm going to do now is log back into my main character. Okay, right, so here I am. I'm in a base. This is the Federal Administration Information Center in Galante Federation space. Now I've been playing this, I say, properly again for about a month. And I'm really getting into it now. So I've been skilling up. So on the left hand side here are a list of skills that my character is aware of. There are hundreds upon hundreds of skills in the game, and they will take you a lifetime to learn. It shows you what level they are. They all go up to level 5, and these are the ones on the right that I'm have in my queue. The one at the top is what I'm doing at the moment. You can see this one here, small hybrid turret. To finish this one off at level 5, I've got another 12 hours before I finish that. So some of these skills, when you first start them, literally take no more than a few minutes, and others can take, depending on the skill, can take days or even weeks to complete. Let's see if I can find one that's lasting a while on the left hand side. So there you go, skill, this one here, capacitor management. I'm going to be skilling that up, and the next level is going to take me 12 days to skill up, which is insane. So what does that one do, for example? Well, that's skill at regulating your ship's overall energy capacity. 5% bonus to capacitor capacity, say that fast, per skill level. And it tells you what attributes you need to skill it up. So there you go, this one requires intelligence and memory. And the higher skill up, this opens up certain other things you can do or use. Now, talking about attributes, let's have a look at attributes. If I open up my character sheet here, and then go to attributes. So when you first start your character, you will start with a load of attributes, and you can fine-tune these to a degree. This retuning process is known as a remap, and you get, as I understand it, 1 or 2 of these a year. Haven't quite gotten to the details of that yet. And different skills require different attributes to learn. So, for example, if you're learning a skill that requires intelligence, if your intelligence is really high, then you will make the learning time slightly reduced. So it's a good idea to have a plan about which ones or which skills are going to train up first, and remap your attributes into that area. Just makes learning a little bit quicker. Okay, right, so for the last month that I've started the easy way. Most people tend to start off with mining because it's an easy thing to do. You start with a small ship and you work your way up. So if I look at my hangar, look at my ships. Okay, I left my other miner in another base. But let's make this one. Where are we? Oh, it's packaged up. Okay, packaged up means it's been made smaller, and you can put it in a ship to take elsewhere. So, just by way of example, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to undock from here. I'm going to do a little bit of mining. Okay, so here I am. Let's just get... Oh, I think that killed my recording, so I won't get rid of that again. That was just me turning off the HUD. So in here you can make several bookmarks of places you've been, of agents you can speak to and contacts. So contacts tend to be real people. Agents are NPCs, people that will give you missions. So there's a list of people that I've gone to, or missions, and missions are sort of PvE things you can go out and do for certain careers. So the careers I mentioned briefly, so you've got sort of military, industry, business, exploration. So military means you could be a pirate, or you can go out doing missions and shooting other people, or you could do a lot of PvP. You know, and you can have corporations versus corporation, which is the equivalent of a guild. You then got industry, so you can go away and do some mining, which is what I'm doing. That's the easy one to start with. You can do some salvaging. You'll be a researcher, reprocessor. We reprocess ores and make a business that way. You can get more and more into sort of business and the buying and selling or trading side of things. You can be an explorer, explore the galaxy and do a lot of hacking and archaeology. It depends what suits you and how much time you've got to invest in training up certain skills. So as I say, I start with mining. I've got a few bookmarks here for mining. So I'm just going to right click on there and go warp to
drive active.
Go. So this ship is called a retriever. This is a mining barge, and if I click on this icon here, it gives me what's called a ship fitting, so the equipment you can put on it and the stats. So we've got capacitor, so this is sort of like your battery. Okay, and obviously if you've got no battery power, you can't power anything, like your weapons and your defences and your mining lasers. And you've got different slots as well. So at the top here, we've got what we call high slots. Okay, you then got medium, mid slot and low slot, and these all consume power, and they also tend to consume kind of something called CPU. So you've got two resources here, you've got power grid and CPU. So my two high slots here, you typically put some sort of turret, but because it's a mining barge, I've got these strip miner lasers to mine things for me. You would normally put something in here as well. It could be an afterburner to make you go faster, or a few other things. And in my low slots at the moment, I've got these mining laser upgrades, which for me increase the yield of what I'm mining. So you know, it gives me more ores per mining cycle. On the right hand side here, I've got some stats to do with defense, targeting, and navigation. Right, if I go to my overview here, and my mining overview, which I created previously, I can just select a few ores or asteroids. A lot of this has already been mined out today, so let's have some scordite. Okay, and my current skills allow me to select 4 things at once. So I'm going to go a little bit closer. Let's start up one mining laser, select the other one, and select the other mining laser. Okay, so I'm now mining these two. In addition, sometimes you can have drones. So I've got some drones on my ship. I'm going to launch those. And I've got 2 types of drones. I've got these fighters, which are, these particular ones are hobgoblins. They're to defend me. And I've got 2 extra mining drones. So I'm going to tell these mining drones to mine. Okay, and they're mining. Okay. Now, if I look down the bottom here, my 2 mining lasers, you can see a little line going around. So that tells you when it completes a complete cycle. When it completes a cycle, I'll actually harvest some ore. If I open up my cargo hold here, it shows you what I've got on my cargo hold. So nothing in the main cargo hold. My drone bay would show what's in there if my drones are docked, so to speak, and my ore hold. Obviously there's nothing in there yet, and that will fill up. So once I've mined everything, that will fill up to max, and I can take it back to base, and I can either sell it as it is, or I can reprocess it into finer minerals. And this is mining. Now, admittedly, it's not the most exciting task, but it's a necessity to start off with. It's how you earn your money. Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about PvP. So PvP is a big part of EVE. In fact, your end game is likely to be PvP related. It doesn't have to be, but it seems to be many people go down that path. And the thing with these, it's one big universe, so there are thousands of people online at any one time, and it's one universe, one server. So it's not like there's 5,000 people on one server, 5,000 people on another. It's one big server, and it's a big world. If I open up the map here, so I can focus on where I am. So okay, that's me. I'm there at this asteroid belt. If I start to zoom out, you get a feeling for the scale of the game. And there we go. Now, the universe you're in, or the galaxy, it's known as New Eden. The backstory is this that this is thousands of years in the future. A wormhole was discovered thousands of years ago, and Earth came through to colonize this new location of the galaxy, or the new location of the universe. Unfortunately, the wormhole closed, and everyone got left behind to recolonize this place. And then the 4 new races formed, or factions, if you will. So that's how big the place is. Let's just get one of my other mining lasers going. Okay, and I'll get my miners to mine that one. Right, let's bring that map back out. Now, if you look at this map, you'll see sort of in the center it's light colors, it's sort of green to orange, and the outside is red. Now, this is important because in EVE there are 3 main category of zone. There's high sec, which is typically sort of the greener areas, green and yellow. And these green and yellow areas, these high sec areas, are considered to be the safer areas because they are guarded by a police force, an NPC police force known as Concord. And the idea here is there's nothing stopping me or anybody else shooting at me, but if they do, the police will very quickly turn up on site and shoot them and kill them. So it's usually a bad idea for someone to attack you in this space. Going into another area of space that's a little bit more orange, so for example, if I set something down here, there we go. Goynard. There you go, somewhere I haven't been. So you've got high sec, everything's got a security rating, by the way, from 1 down to 0. So high sec is considered 1 to, as I understand it, down to 0.5, including 0.5. Okay, so it's generally safe-ish space. I'm not going to say safe, but safe-ish. And then you've got something called low sec, which is from 0.4 to 0.1. And in these areas, there's not so much of a police presence, and you're a lot more vulnerable. I don't quite know the rules of engagement in this space, but you're a lot more vulnerable, and you typically won't spend a lot of time there unless you're going in a pack. And then you've got what's called null sec, and that's 0 security space. So if I just select something over here, so anything 0 and below is considered null sec. And out there, it's completely player driven and ruled. And that's where a lot of PvP stuff happens, and where there's huge battles tend to take place that many people have heard about, watching YouTube videos about EVE and things like that.
The asteroid is depleted.
Okay, let's do another one. Let's select another asteroid. Mine repeatedly. So there we have it. I think that'll do for now. That's good for a quick introduction to EVE.
Is depleted.
And I'll be left here to finish mining these asteroids. Hopefully next time I'll be doing a bit of doing a few missions in my ship, hopefully blowing a few things up. But I think for now that'll do. Until next time, see you then.